Good evening. It's Michael Bociurkiw, Global Affairs Analyst and Senior Fellow at the Atlantic Council. It is Saturday, March 12th, about 10:30 p.m. here in Lviv, Ukraine. The curfew has started, so the streets are very quiet right now. But that's not how the day started here in Lviv. There were two air siren alarms that, of course, sent people fleeing to bomb shelters. One at about 5 a.m. and another at around 7. Thankfully, there was no shelling or anything like that. However, it just puts people just on edge. And, when these things happen, of course, people don't get proper sleep and so on. And it just heightens their state of anxiety. I just came back from speaking to an assistant hotel manager at one of the local hotels here, and she was telling me, we're just at wit's end. What do you think will happen? Do you think they're going to bomb the entire country? She, like many Ukrainians here, they're glued to their Telegram channels and trying to keep up on the news. So it's very, very tough on people here. Also, a lot of them thinking, do I stay or do I go? But there is a palpable sense of fear and anxiety here that Lviv may not be spared. And, we have to keep in mind that yesterday there were strikes on Ivano-Frankivsk, which is not that far away from here, as well as further to the north, Lutsk. Elsewhere in Ukraine, just briefly, about an hour's drive, not even, west of Kiev, the capital, a town called Makariv is being heavily shelled, according to Telegram channels. Mariupol is also pretty much under siege. Dnipro has been struck. It seems that the Russian forces have a gaining grip, if we can put it that way, to the south, to the east, and a little bit to the north of Ukraine. So I just listened to part of a press conference with President Zelensky, who is under crushing pressure and, workload, and is able to still give a press conference and, joke a little bit with the press. But he said in a, of course, serious tone that we should consider all of Ukraine the front line, not just the cities that are being bombed. And speaking of bombing, more hospitals and schools and kindergartens and other places that should be considered off limits to aggression are being shelled. I was on a U.S. television channel earlier today and was asked what's going on with some organizations not being allowed to call this a war. Well, they were talking about the United Nations. Certain UN agencies have instructed their staff to call this escalating conflict, not a war, not an invasion. Well, sorry guys, but by any standard definition, that's exactly what this is. And I think I said on air, I think this is high time that they, faced reality and called a spade, and not only that, but called out the aggressor, the member state, Russia, for invading and for initiating this. So I don't know, maybe the United Nations will come around, but having served the organization for many years and risked my life for them in certain hotspots, I certainly hope that they will, and I know many current and former colleagues feel that way. I think I'll leave it at that today. I had hoped to do this outside, but the day kind of got away. But I'll try to do that tomorrow. On the bright side, we have to look for bright things in these times. Beautiful sunny day here, a bit warmer temperatures. A lot of people outside enjoying the sun, including myself. Just to go out there and have that feeling of the sunshine on your face with a cup of coffee was a glorious moment, I gotta say. It is Saturday here, so the kind of congestion or traffic, at least on the roads, was a bit less. Lots and lots of people out on the streets. It's a shifting situation every few hours, so I will do my best to stay put and give you the latest from my perspective. Here in Lviv, Ukraine on this March 12th, Michael Bociurkiw, Global Affairs Analyst, Senior Fellow at the Atlantic Council. Stay safe.